The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Dr. Nicole Anzalone, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Tom?
Oh, I'm hanging right in there. So, I think about you a lot with this, with the amount of noise pollution that's out there.
Oh, yes.
I can remember in the 70s, the teachers used to talk about regular pollution, and then noise pollution being a big thing. And I thought, what a crock that is, noise pollution.
And then light pollution.
And light pollution, all that. But, it really is in the summertime, between, I was working in the garage and working around the outside, and you got 4 or 5 lawnmowers going, and one guy's sawing in his, garage, and the circular saw is going, and then the dogs are barking. Oh my goodness, is that all bad for your hearing? Or
not necessarily, not unless it's too loud for longer periods of time.
Yeah.
But going to concerts and, I play in a band, and music, if it's too loud, could be considered noise.
Yeah.
I always think you should definitely protect your hearing. I always protect my hearing when I'm playing, when I'm listening to music, going to concerts. So if you're
using
a
plug. You're using a plug when you play in your band.
Yeah.
Now you're a percussionist, you're a drummer, so you're not too worried about hearing chord changes so much, right?
Right.
But do you still hear the music? Can you still
Well, I use musician monitors, so it's nice.
Okay.
You could connect them to the mixer.
Oh, right.
And but they're
yeah.
custom made, so it protects your ears from any outside noises, and you only hear what's coming through the mixer pretty much.
Yes, the whole listening thing. Judy and I did this a few weeks ago. We were up north, and we just stopped, and we said, let's hear what we hear. Mm-hmm. And we stopped. And it was like, when you just stop and listen, okay, oh, you hear a bird. And wait a minute. And then we were hearing things that normally we would just mute out and not really think of. It was awesome. It was awesome. We were hearing things that we stopped and listened, and it was kind of exciting that God made our ears to work that way, so we can take all this in. And I was loving it.
Yeah, hearing is a little bit different than listening. I mean, you could hear things like the fans blowing all day long in your office, and the things that you kind of learn to ignore. And then there's the things that you intently listen for, and they could be beautiful things, not necessarily noise pollution.
How long ago did you start your practice?
It was over 15 years ago now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you're a full audiologist. Do you employ other audiologists as well?
Yeah. I need all the help I can get.
Right. Which makes you a doctor. So let's impart to the listening audience the difference between audiologists and people who might dispense hearing aids.
Yeah, so I have a doctorate in audiology, which is, you go to graduate school, and it's like an 8-year program with undergraduate as well. And so we learn the diagnostics, the anatomy and physiology side of it, almost like the medical side of it as well. So we learn diagnosis and treatment. Right, and hearing aid dispensers, they have a shorter training program, and they just work with hearing aids. So they're not as experienced in everything hearing wise. Okay. So, but we are different from ENTs. ENT physicians.
Right. Where's the line with that?
Yeah. So they're medical doctors or physicians that specialize in ear, nose, and throat. So we work side by side with them as well.
And they would do surgery if there needed to be surgery and things like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Pharmaceutical or surgical treatment of anything ear, nose, and throat related.
I was with a friend last weekend, and we got talking about history. He goes, "Did you ever get that ring in that tinnitus? Did you ever have that, or tinnitus?" Whichever you called it.
Tinnitus.
And I go, not much. He goes, I have it all the time. He goes, and now I'm struggling with vertigo.
Oh,
and I said, you need to go see Dr. Anzalone. I gave him your name. And I said, this is her thing.
Yep.
People like sports, dogs, and cars. She likes to help people fix these things. This is her thing. So I gave him your name, and how he was just describing how awful it is. It is awful.
It is. It really is. It's debilitating sometimes if you have vertigo, which could be ear related. In many cases, it is ear related. And tinnitus could, keep you from sleeping. It could affect your conversations and your entire daily life. So we can treat it. There's no cure, but we can definitely treat it.
Right. So if someone, where does this start? If someone they think they have a hearing loss, they don't know, their wife keeps saying, "You're not listening to me, Tom," or something like that. What's the process? What happens?
Well, just give us a call. We'll have you come in. We'll do a full evaluation, a hearing evaluation. We'll assess your, if you have tinnitus, if you have balance problems. We take care of that. We assess it, and we'll help you out.
Yeah, I know. It's Tom and I went through the process, and how often we did it? Probably a year and a half ago. How often should someone get retested if they're Tom's age?
I would say if they present with a hearing loss, like the first time we test them, it's good to get a baseline, and then after that, we usually see them again probably once a year, just to monitor and track the hearing over time to make sure it doesn't progress.
Okay, and I know you. Big news coming about you. You're expanding your office. You're doubling your size. Some very big things going on.
Exciting.
SyracuseHearingSolutions.com. Have a conversation, or they can reach out to you, maybe set up an appointment, or just ask questions. 468-2985. That's the big area code 315, Tom. 468-2985. SyracuseHearingSolutions.com. Thank you, Dr. Nicole.
Thank you.